So with Manel Bossels, who was a doctoral student here and now a professor at ESA, we are looking at issues such as we consume more and more, our desire for future consumption somewhat goes down. So for example, you find in country studies that as income increases beyond certain basic level, then happiness or well-being index does not increase. In Japan, for example, income has increased in last 50 years several fold, but well-being index has remained about the same. The same story is true in the United States. Now, this finding cannot be easily explained by traditional discounted utility model. The idea in that model is that as income increases, you can buy more consumer goods, and therefore your utility, which is satisfaction, is going to increase. In our model, we incorporate satiation due to previous consumption. So the idea is simple, that if you go to an Italian restaurant and have a tasty, rich food, the first time you would like it a lot. But if you show up next day again and next day again, then your desire or satisfaction will be less and less. Same thing can be said about movies, vacations, exercise, food, all kinds of things, that as we consume more, our incremental satisfaction is less. So satiation is dependent on the stock of consumption in the past, which of course decays. So it has a half-life. So if you went to the same Italian restaurant a year from now, you would enjoy it equally more. Now, using this model, we could show that as income increases, our experienced utility may not increase. Actually, what we find is that initially there is a kick and you do get a higher utility. So if you win a lottery, initially you will enjoy it, but our prediction is that your satisfaction will come down to some steady state level. So more money in that sense may not necessarily buy more happiness, provided that the basic needs are met. So next question then is, what is it an individual can do to improve one's happiness? And we are working on a second paper. Basically, happiness is multidimensional. It is not just money. Social relations are important. Emotional needs are important. Even spiritual practices are important. For some things, such as socializing with friends, people feel very happy about. Now, they also find commuting on 405 is stressful, and frankly, so is talking to your boss. But we cannot avoid talking to boss. That won't be a good idea. So what we are going to look at is that what is under your control or anybody's control is time. So if people spend more time in developing friendship and in kinds of activities that truly give them happiness than simply chase after more and more money, they would be happier. Now, spiritual practices, there are some very interesting, fascinating research. Neuroscientists are finding that people who are engaged in some spiritual practice, let's say an example would be meditation, but there could be many other examples, they find greater activity on the left side of prefrontal cortex, which is associated with cheerful disposition or happiness, and the right side is, of course, negative emotions and depression. So they find, for example, extreme cases, Tibetan monks, and they find there is a lot of activity on the left side, which is associated with happiness. So we do have some control over our own happiness. So my recommendation would be that if your basic needs are met, family is taken care of, you have security for the future, you are better off investing more time for improving your love life than trying to find more and more income by working on lots of different things. So that is the conclusion of this.